Ladies and gentlemen, it was requested by my wife that I give a public lecture for charity. Well, if I must, I must. It's all the same to me. I'm not a professor, and I never finished university. And yet, nevertheless, over the past 30 years, I have been ruining my health in a constant, unceasing examination of matters strictly scientific nature. I'm a man of intellectual curiosity and image. At times, I write essays on scientific matters. Well, not exactly scientific, but if you will pardon me, approximately scientific. Just another day I finished a long article entitled "On the Harmfulness of Certain Insects." My daughters liked it immensely, especially the part about the bedbugs. But I just read it over and I tore it up. What difference does it make whether such things are written? We have bedbugs even in our grand piano. For the subject of my lecture today, I have taken, so to speak, the harm done mankind by the use of tobacco. I myself smoke, but my wife told me to lecture about the harmfulness of tobacco, so what is to be done? Tobacco it is. It's all the same to me, but ladies and gentlemen, I urge you to take my lecture with all due seriousness, or something awful may happen. If any of you are afraid of a dry, scientific lecture, cannot stomach that sort of thing, you needn't listen. You may leave. Very well. Are there any doctors present? If so, I insist that you listen very carefully, for my lecture will contain much useful information. For tobacco, besides being harmful, contains certain medical properties. For instance, if you take a fly and put him into the top of this pipe, he will die, probably from nervous exhaustion. Tobacco, strictly speaking, is a plant. Yes, I know. I'm a nervous man. I fiddle with my pipe. I take no notice. I started smoking years ago, in 1889 to be precise. The very year my wife gave birth to our fourth daughter, on September 13th. All my daughters were born on the 13th. But I see time at my disposal is strictly limited. I've digressed from the subject. Oh, by the way, I should tell you, my wife runs a boarding school. Well, not exactly a boarding school, but something in the nature of one. Just between you and me, my wife likes to complain about the hard times. But she's put away some little nest egg, some 40 or 50,000 rubles. As for me, I haven't a kopeck to my name, not a penny. What's the use of dwelling on that? At the school, it is my lot to look after the housekeeping. I buy supplies, take care of the servants, help them sweep the floors, catch mice, exterminate bed bugs. Every morning I take my wife's little dog for walks. Well, last night it fell to me to bring the cook flour and butter for today's breakfast. Well, to make a long story short, when the pancakes were ready, my wife came down and said a few of the students would not be eating as they had swollen glands. So it seems we had a few too many pancakes. What to do with them? At first, my wife ordered them stored away. But then she thought about it a while and said, "You eat those pancakes, you scarecrow!" That's what she calls me when she's out of humor. Scarecrow, or viper, or devil. What sort of a devil am I? She's always out of humor. I didn't eat those pancakes. I wolfed them down. I'm always hungry. She never feeds me. She says, "What's the use of feeding you, you scarecrow?" It seems I've strayed away from the subject once again. Forgive me. But some of you would probably rather hear an opera, some symphony, an aria. "We shall not shrink in the heart of battle, forward be strong." I forget where that comes from. Oh, by the way, I should tell you, at this boarding school, apart from the housekeeping, my duties include teaching science, physics, chemistry, mathematics, physics. Did I mention that? Geography, literature, and so forth. For singing, dancing, and drawing, my wife charges extra. Although the singing, dancing master is yours truly. Our house is located on 13th Street. Perhaps that's why my life has been so unlucky. Born in house number 13, on a street named 13. All my daughters born on the 13th. I think I told you. And it's strange. My house has 13 windows. In short, I'm a failure. I've grown old and stupid. Here I am, lecturing. For all appearances, enjoying myself, but I tell you, I have such an urge to scream out at the top of my lungs, to run away to the ends of the earth. There's no one to talk to. I want to weep. What about my daughters, you say? What about them? I tried to talk to them, they only laugh. My wife has 7 daughters. 7. Wait, it's only 6. No, wait a minute, it is 7. Anna, the eldest, is 17. The youngest is... Ladies and gentlemen, I am miserable. I'm a fool, a non-entity. We were talking about my daughters. They never get married. Probably because they're so shy, but because men can never get near them. She never gives parties. She's a stingy, shrewish, ill-tempered old biddy. That's why no one comes to see us. All right. I can tell you confidently. On holidays, my daughters can be seen at the home of their Aunt Natalia. The one who has rheumatism, who always wears a yellow dress covered by black spots that look like cockroaches. There you can eat. Oh, and if my wife happens not to be looking, you'll see me. I can get tipsy on 1 glass. And then I feel so happy. And at the same time, so sad. It's unimaginable. I think of my youth. Somehow I long to clear out, to run away to the ends of the earth. Where? Anywhere. So long as it is away from that vile, mean, cheap life that has turned me into a fool, a miserable idiot. To run away from the bookkeeping ledgers, all those mundane, trivial affairs. To run away from that stupid, petty, hot-headed, nasty, spiteful old miser, my wife, that has given me 33 years of torment. To run away somewhere and stand there high on a hill, like a tree, a pole, a scarecrow, and look up at the great sky and the still bright moon and forget. Oh, how I long to forget. How I long to tear off this frock coat. This coat that I wore 33 years ago at my wedding, that I still wear for lectures, for charity. God! Take that! That! Ah! A poor, shabby, tattered wretch like the back of this waistcoat! I asked for nothing. I'm better than that. I was young once. I went to the university. I had dreams. Oh, I thought of myself as a man. But now I want nothing but peace. Peace. Oh. Oh. Well, she's there. She's there, waiting in the wings for me. I just saw her. Wait a minute. Look, please. If she asks, please, I beg you, tell her that her Scarecrow husband, her lecturer, me, behaved with dignity. Given that tobacco contains a terrible poison, which I've had the pleasure of describing to you, smoking should at all costs be avoided. And permit me to add these hopes that these observations on the harmfulness of tobacco may have been some profit to you. And thus I conclude, Dexi et animen lavavi. Thank you. Thank you. Spasiba. Spasiba.